Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Here's Eddie Frederick.
Welcome to Caribbean Perspective. So glad you can join us. The story that dominates in today's edition for Friday, 5th September 2025, and brought to you in association with our friends at Antillean Group. The efficient handling of Jamaica's general elections results in early victory and concession speeches. Details after this important message.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all, perils big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so clear to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillean Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
The hurricane season is now upon us, so we as Caribbean people need to remember to think safety and be prepared. Avoid venturing outside during a storm or hurricane, especially if there are strong winds. Rooftops and other debris are often blown about and can cause great damage.
Welcome back. The hype Jamaica's main opposition PNP had going into Wednesday's general elections did not yield the results that favored the Mark Golding-led PNP, but it sure yielded a great showing as where they were coming from, they had the greater gains than the incumbent, which lost several seats. The results ended with quite a few seats falling in the likely recount section because of the closeness of the votes. Here is leader of the PNP, Mark Golding, as he delivered his concession speech.
Comrade General Secretary, comrade officers, all the comrades on the platform, all the comrades in the audience, all the people of Jamaica who are listening, watching. First of all, I think it's my duty as a believer in democracy to acknowledge and concede the result and to congratulate our opponents, the Jamaica Labour Party, for their victory tonight. Jamaica's democracy is important and we must cherish it. Sometimes it brings bitter disappointments. Sometimes those disappointments are laced with a tinge of a sense that not all is fair and just, but it is very, very important that we put democracy ahead of all of those feelings. And I accept the result of these elections, and although obviously I'm very disappointed in the outcome, I think it is only correct to expressly acknowledge the success that our opponents have managed to gain today. I want to thank a lot of people.
In the meantime, incumbent Prime Minister Andrew Holness, whose cage was rattled in his constituency by his PNP opponent for a large majority of the delivery of the results, was very mindful to speak jubilantly at his party's unprecedented third term. Take a listen.
This bell is not an easy bell to ring. I wouldn't be surprised if Bustamante rang this bell. But I carry the symbol of the party today because it is such a historic moment that this is a victory for our founder Bustamante, for Sir Donald Stanster, for Hugh Shearer, for Edward Philip George Thiago, for Bruce Golding, and I want to invite Mrs. Carla Thiago to just come and acknowledge the moment and take a bow to the crowd, because all of this Mr. Siaga still, well, he must be happy. So, Desmond, just, you are only allowed to hold the bell temporarily. Do not ring it. I have a few things to say early on. Firstly, let me thank the thousands of Jamaicans who prayed for me personally and who prayed for the government and the country. I want to thank my wife and one of my sons is here, Adam. Come on, guys. The superwoman. And my mother. I want to thank them personally. I mean, you know, a political campaign, sometimes, you know, when they see the personalities, they forget that they are human beings with feelings and emotions, and they can be objectified. It's very difficult, but I want to thank my family here and abroad and all over who have withstood a tremendous onslaught, but they never gave up on me or on the people of Jamaica. I want to thank the political team. I think we have the best political team in the Caribbean. But allow me to, I do this at a risk, but I'm sure everyone will agree that my Deputy Prime Minister, Horace Chang, the General Secretary of the Jamaica Labour Party, deserves special commendation. You know, there's a special bond that has to be between the leader and the General Secretary of a political party. And Horace and I have been working for the greater part of 30 years together. We have been very good friends and very good professional associates. We have a mind share, and we are both very much committed to Jamaica.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick, in association with our friends at
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
In more election news, this time turning to Guyana. Although the Guyana Elections Commission GCOM is yet to declare the official results of the 2025 general and regional elections, the incumbent People's Progressive Party Civic PPPC has already begun celebrating what it claims is victory. HGP's Marvin Cato brings us up to speed.
The Guyana Elections Commission is yet to announce the winner of the general and regional elections. However, General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party Civic PPPC, Jack View, has rushed to announce his party has won the elections.
I don't want to call the election results because we are awaiting the official declaration, and I think political parties should await GCOM making an official declaration. But given the system that we've introduced, there's no mystery any longer.
The General Secretary went on to disparage political opponents for not saying what the results look like.
And so I don't see why political parties are speaking the nonsense that they're speaking about await GCOM official results. And one party said, like Mr. Norton, he still sees a pathway to victory when everything is in the public domain already.
Opposition leader Aubrey Norton, in his retort to the fanfare, has asked for calm and the continuation of the process to its eventual conclusion.
Do anything to ensure that the results of these elections are the true results. We will stay on top of it to ensure that no irregularities occur at this stage. And we do believe once there are no irregularities, then there's a pathway to victory.
Simona Brooms, on the other hand, is of the view that the major parties are aware of the results and they should come out and say to the nation if they have lost and concede and move on.
It's time we operate more mature rather than just dodging here, there, and all over.
The Assembly for Liberty and Prosperity ALP leader was critical in her analysis and reminded that the information comes from SOPs, not tally sheet anymore.
You know, the bigger players, they had persons at all these polling places, Idris, so they have the SOPs.
Marvin Cato reporting for HGP Nightly News.
Democracy in Guyana will remain incomplete without stronger trust in the electoral system. That was the firm message from the European Union Election Observation Mission, which noted that while the Guyana Elections Commission GCOM efficiently managed polling day operations, persistent political influence continues to cast doubt on the Commission's credibility. The EU team commended GCOM's handling of logistics and transparency measures during the 2025 general and regional elections. However, they warned that unless confidence in the body's independence is restored, doubts about fairness and impartiality will continue to undermine Guyana's democracy. Tiana Cole reports for the HGP Nightly News.
Chief Observer Robert Bidron of the European Union Election Observation Mission, EUEOM, stated during a press conference that, although GCOM managed the elections in an efficient manner, its decision-making process remains heavily influenced by political division, which has weakened public confidence in the institution.
We need to build trust in the institutions. When there is a lack of trust within the institutions, especially electoral institutions, then we are all losing on that.
He stressed that mistrust arises when institutions fail to operate in line with democratic principles, the rule of law, and respect for regulations.
The political influence over the especially independent institutions always bring harm. And this should never happen. This demolishes the trust among people.
Bidron further noted that political discourse on platforms such as Facebook and TikTok was dominated by a small number of influencers, many of whom appeared closely aligned with major political parties. He emphasized that democracy cannot be considered complete without freedom of expression, including diverse and independent media voices across both traditional and digital platforms.
Some of the influencers were very much politically engaged. We also observe misinformation, disinformation circulating in social media.
Despite these challenges, he pointed out that the mission observed a number of independent journalists and social media influencers who played an important role in distributing credible information to the public. Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
The United States, meantime, has signaled that it will be forced to work around and the We Invest in Nationhood Win Party's presidential candidate should he enter Parliament due to ongoing U.S. sanctions. Travis Chase of HGP Nightly News has more.
Now that the United States sanctioned the politician and leader of the We Invest in Nationhood, Azruddin Mohammed, is poised to occupy seats at Guyana's next parliamentary sitting, the question that persists is, how does the United States plan to navigate around Mr. Mohammed and his political party? U.S. Ambassador to Guyana Nicole Theriot was approached on Wednesday for a response to this question.
But I can tell you we've had OFAC-sanctioned individuals in governments in other places in the world, several in fact, and we find ways to work around that.
The ambassador said that the United States will not be able to engage in any financial transactions with Azruddin Mohammed. She explains.
We wouldn't be able to work directly with Mr. Mohammed in any sort of transaction or financial situation, but we could work with the other parliamentarians. I assume he'll be in Parliament, the other parliamentarians and other people on the particular committees that we're dealing with. No, there are ways to work around it.
Back in July, the U.S. ambassador had told reporters that the election of an OFAC-sanctioned person to the executive or opposition could impact on the way the U.S. government handles its business.
We will just follow the U.S. law as it prescribes working with OFAC-sanctioned individuals.
The billionaire businessman and his father were sanctioned in June of 2024 for allegedly evading millions of U.S. dollars in taxes. People's Progressive Party civic member May Thomas was also sanctioned in connection with her alleged role for public corruption. After the close of polls for Monday's general and regional elections in Guyana, WIN has made significant inroads into the support bases for the two major political parties. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News.
I am Eddie Frederick, wishing you a restful weekend. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean. In the meantime, please follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel for daily regional news and more, in association with our friends at Antillian Group.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all perils, big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so clear to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.